What's going on, YouTube? Kryptonian here. I hope everyone had a great weekend. So, I wanted to bring this one up because this has actually been bugging me for a while. I've been seeing these buildings all over the place. Uh, as you see, this is the ancient Greek Pantheon, and I guess just like with the obelisks, I'm trying to figure out why they're everywhere. I mean, look at this. So, I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way back. So as you know, we have the DC monuments, and obviously this is, as soon as it loads, this is the Washington, obviously the national monument where Lincoln is buried, or Lincoln's statue. What gets me is that as I started kind of digging around, I just started looking to see, because I noticed this building is literally everywhere. This style of building. I mean, as you see, this is the Capitol in D.C. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, why do these buildings look this way? Besides that one, I just started kind of digging around and looking at everything just to see where else. As you see, I went to France because I noticed actually when I was watching a live stream with Lone Eagles, and if you haven't checked them out, I highly suggest you do. But I noticed that these buildings were everywhere in France. And then, you know, I just started kind of throwing them out there. Tennessee, we all know about the mock-up of the Pantheon there. This one has me a tad bit triggered only because I used to live in Madison, Tennessee, as well as Hermitage, and yet I'd never seen this when I was there. But as I started digging around, I mean, what also grabbed my attention was just more and more. I was on Google Earth, and happened to just decide to zoom into Jacksonville. This is the Duval County Courthouse in Jacksonville. And again, I just don't understand why they keep building this style of building. I mean, I decided to go from there, and I'd say New York. I mean, that's in New York, they're there. This one's crazy because this is in Texas. For some reason, Texas seems to have a lot of new types of buildings showing up there. But Texas, let's see, this one was actually in, I apologize for the loading. This is in Denver, actually. I remembered when I was in Denver seeing this building in particular. This is in California. I mean, it's just everywhere. I don't get it. I don't understand. This one threw me off because this is in Australia. South Wales. This is in Orlando, Florida. This was a church for the Greek Orthodox, and now the Scientology just opened up in the same location at that building, which is, again, I find very odd. This one here was in Canada. The Canadian Judiciary. I mean, look at this, guys. It just doesn't make sense. None of it. Why we have so many of these? Why? And this one even blew my mind because this is actually in Mexico. I just don't understand this Greek Roman style buildings. I mean, they were talking about the statue, but if you look, see behind? Those same type of columns, the same almost near architecture. It just doesn't make sense. This one was actually in Ireland. I stumbled across this while I was looking up other places. So, of course, I had to add it. This is apparently in Dublin. But it just doesn't make sense. I mean, just this style building. Let's see. This one here was actually in England. Because I figured if they're in Ireland, it's probably in England as well. The British Museum. This is in South Africa. I mean, it's just odd, guys. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why they're everywhere. Let's see. This one was actually in São Paulo, Brazil. That's where I found this building. Because, again, I was just, you know, typing in anywhere and everywhere I can look. I mean, it's crazy, guys. Look at that. This one here was actually in Korea. Of all places, Korea. Why would they have these type of buildings? This is an actual university in Korea. This is in Spain. It's just so odd. And of course, then I went to Egypt because I remembered again when I was watching Lone's video last night. I remembered that I'd seen one in particular that grabbed my attention. But it's just so weird to see all these architectures. This is also in Egypt. Now, granted, yes, I know this one isn't round columns like the rest, but the style's really similar. One of their other monuments. And of course, this is what grabbed my attention was Petra when Lone was there last night looking kind of over at everything. That's the first thing I noticed was how it has a similar style. I don't understand why all of these ancient buildings and now even the new architecture is showing this style of building. Let me see. This one was actually in Russia. Because again, I jumped everywhere. I wanted to see how many of these buildings are all over the place. The Mining Institute in St. Petersburg, Russia. You see what I'm saying, guys? It's the same thing. I don't get why. Of course, the Pantheon again. We're going to skip over that. You know, this is also in Italy, and I understand Italy and Greece are near each other, so that's fine. I get it. But what grabbed my attention too was just it was in. I mean, these are in cemeteries all over the place. Look at this. I mean, so it doesn't make sense that not only do we build regular buildings like this, that we actually build mausoleums this way. I mean, what is the purpose? And the last thing that I just brought up when I was looking it over was I was also watching Scarab Performances live. He was doing one of his shows on Saturday, the Speakeasy. If you haven't checked him out, I highly suggest you do so. But they were looking at the world at The Economist from 2018 cover. Two things stuck out in particular for me, which was on The Economist was this right here, that column, and then of course there's the building, and I think that was it on this one. These were the main two that grabbed my attention. And just to add here into this video, again, what also made me start to think about this more and more was when Lone was doing his live stream. As you see, there was one of these buildings here that were part of the mud flood that they were showing. Again, same architecture, same style. It didn't make any sense to me. And then last but not least, what I wanted to throw in here was I was watching an old movie today, Double Impact, and felt the need to kind of take this picture here, a snap. I tried to catch it just so if you notice the wing, it doesn't have that little weird flap up there. The engines do look a little forward than what I remember, but it was just crazy when I saw that. So that's it, guys. That was all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to get your opinion on it, see what you guys thought about what I was finding, because it's just really weird, guys. It's weird that they're everywhere, that this type of building exists in so many different locations, that this whole entire architecture exists in so many different locations. And I just find it very odd, because there seems to be a lot more that have popped up lately than what I recall in my youth. But anyways, I hope everyone has a great evening. Again, I thank you all for checking out my video. Also for all the new subscribers. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And I hope everyone has yourself a wonderful day wherever you're at. And I'll be popping out some more videos here soon. Take care, guys. Bye.